Hello, screenwriters. We are back for another episode of Watch Me Write, where every week I write 5 pages for my first screenplay, then I discuss the previous 5 pages. This week we're going to talk about pages 111 through 115. We picked up where we left off last week, where Kafella is in his room putting together an old computer part. Jamal walks in the room. The brothers have a very intimate moment. They start talking about baseball. Kafella shows Jamal an old baseball card that they used to have. Jamal takes the card. He looks at it. He tells Kafella that this is probably worth nothing. Kafella reminds him that it's not about the dollar value of the baseball card. It's the memories that it has, which is priceless. Jamal just shrugs him off. He gives him the card back. And then something pivotal happened in this scene. Kafella has been bothered his whole life about Jamal thinking that he's the cause of his mother's dying. Kafella straight up asks him, "Do you really blame me for our mother's death?" There's a quiet moment. Jamal thinks to himself and says, "Nah." And even though it's very subtle, that is enough for Kafella because he's never heard his brother not blame him for his mother's dying. So after that, the brothers continue having a conversation. Jamal goes into the closet sneakily. He grabs a gun from the closet. Kafella doesn't see him grab the gun, and Jamal walks away. He's headed to the corner store. We jump into Jamal at the corner store shopping for snacks. He goes to the counter ready to pay. He just remembered that he forgot to get a soda that Kafella had asked him for. So he goes back to get the soda. And then we jump to Sherry at home. Something is going on with her. She's in tears. She's holding the phone. And there's a pregnancy test on the floor nearby. So we go back and forth between those two scenes, and then we cut. We jump into Sherry on the phone in the bathroom. She's calling Kafella, right? So she calls Kafella. She's no longer in tears, but Kafella knows something is not right with her. First of all, Kafella is very happy to hear from her because, as you know, the two had a falling out and he thought he would never see her again. So he is excited to be hearing her voice. However, though, her voice sounds very somber. So he starts to ask her what's wrong. She's not really telling him. She starts talking in codes, almost like she might do something he might not like, or he still love her. So we see Sherry in the bathroom again, and this time we see the pregnancy test, and the results are is that she's pregnant. She doesn't tell Kafella on the phone that she's pregnant. She just tells him that she needs to see him. While this conversation is happening, Kafella hears the gunshot. So he drops the phone. He runs out of his apartment. And then he jumps down the stairs. He gets outside of his building. While he's getting outside of the building, he sees Lawrence running past him. Kafella sees a crowd starting to gather a few blocks away. Kafella begins to walk towards the crowd. As he gets closer, he sees Jamal's body on the ground, unresponsive, and blood is dripping from his body, and the scene ends. That is it for pages 111 to 115. Next up are pages 116 through the conclusion. Yes, next week we will wrap this story up. Like this video, subscribe, and if you think about writing your first screenplay, go to your favorite app store, download Stratword. Fade out.